There's some alphas in this house, and the train is pulling in. See, the train is pulling in. See, the train is pulling in. See, there's some alphas in this house, and the train is pulling in. Alpha Phi Alpha, black and no gold. There's some alphas in this house, and the train is pulling in. See the train, pulling in. See the train, pulling in. See, there's some alphas in this house, and the train's pulling in. Alpha Phi Alpha, black and no gold. See, now my mama tried to warn me, and she told me not to bless Kappa, and she told me not to bless Q. See, she told me not to bless Sigma. See, now my mama tried to warn me, and she told me to bless Alpha, Alpha Phi Alpha, black and no gold.
These bricks are the bricks that built the house of Alpha. Brick 1, brick, brick 2, brick, brick 3, brick. The brick! The brick! Who not the brick? Don't drop the brick! The brick! The brick! 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 Don't drop the brick! The brick! The brick!
I hear you. I hear you.
The brick! Don't drop the brick! The brick! Don't drop the brick! It's all good.
I hear you, baby.
We are the brothers, the Let's Go brothers, the brothers of 8x8. We are the brothers, the Let's Go brothers, the brothers of 8x8. We are the brothers, the Seven brothers of 8x8. Seven brothers, the Let's Go brothers of 8x8. Let's go brothers, seven brothers, go brothers, go 8x8.
Let's go, baby. Let's go. Let's go.
Brothers, the brothers of 8x8. Seven brothers.
An alpha is what a kappa ain't, what a Q wanna be, what a sigma can't, what a zeta want, what a delta love, what an AKA can't get enough of.
A five,
A,
a five,
A,
ice, ice, baby. Too cold, ice, ice, baby. The black logo, ice, ice, baby. Too cold, ice, ice, baby. The black logo, ice, ice, ice. Too cold, ice, ice, ice. The black logo.
Egyptian lover, baby. Egyptian lover, baby.
I love my 8x8. I love my 8x8. I love my 8x8.
Man I'm about to introduce, the brothers upon you have nothing but the utmost respect for him. He's the reason that all of us here are members of Alpha Phi Alpha. He hails from Far Rockaway, New York, and also known as the Grinch, one of the founders of Pine Chapter, Anthony.
Good evening, brothers, angels, family, friends. Just want to say hello, and I'm very happy to see everyone that's here. It's a great turnout, and I'm pretty excited about the whole weekend, all of the events that have taken place so far. And I, at this point, like to thank the chapter, Karim chapter, for putting this together, especially the 10th anniversary and Founders Day weekend committee coordinator, Nakia Cooper. I think we should give him a round of applause. What I'd like to do now is just tell everyone a story that most of you probably already know, a little history, all right? About the way the fraternity was, the chapter of the fraternity was founded. First of all, Eddie Karim, my Sams, and myself were at Boston University in 1980. And when I got there, when I first went there, I was always interested in becoming a member of a fraternity. I didn't really know anything about any specific fraternities, any specific organizations. All I knew is that I wanted to be down. I wanted to step around. I wanted to wear certain colors. I wanted to just do everything that you see fraternities do, like in the movies and on television and stuff, the social aspect mostly. So what I did is I got to Boston University, and I checked out, I spoke to a lot of people who were in different organizations. I spoke to some members from Phi Beta Sigma. I went to a smoker for Omega Psi Phi and Kappa Alpha Psi. And at the end, I finally went to a smoker for Alpha Phi Alpha. Now, this organization to me seemed to be one of tremendous substance. There was just there were a few things missing from the other organizations, because even though they were able to fulfill what I thought fraternity was about at that time, which was just purely social, there was not the commitment to the uplifting of the black community that Alpha Phi Alpha shows and all of its members represent. So I was drawn to the black and gold. And what happened was I pledged the fraternity and became a member of Sigma chapter in 1981. Now, the following year, when Reagan came into play, I could no longer afford to go to school at Boston University, so I had to transfer. And I looked for a place to go, and I chose West Virginia University because I have a lot of relatives here, and even though it's not exactly close to New York, if I ever got in trouble, I felt that I would still be able to lean on my relatives here in the area, so I wasn't by myself. Now, since I was doing this and Eddie Karim was also looking for a place to transfer to, we both decided to transfer together here. So that's what we did. Now, when I got here, I was very upset that there was no chapter of Alpha Phi Alpha Fraternity Incorporated. I couldn't believe it. There were Omega Psi Phi, Kappa Alpha Psi, and Alpha Kappa Alpha. And these organizations, they were here on campus, but they weren't really contributing to the black community. They weren't really doing very much. I mean, I don't really want to put them down, but it just, the Greek life here wasn't exactly what I was used to. So at this point, we decided that we've got to start a chapter of the fraternity. So we called Nationals, wrote a letter to Nationals, and asked them what we had to do to continue the name of Alpha Phi Alpha Fraternity Incorporated at West Virginia University. What National Organization did was write me a letter and put me in touch with Adolphus Young, who at the time was the state director of the fraternity. And when I got that letter and his address and his telephone number, I literally ran to the telephone, and at the same time I was reaching for the telephone to pick it up and call him. The phone rang and it was him calling me, because he was just as excited as getting something started here as I was. So at this point, we started working together, writing letters, corresponding with Nationals, finding out exactly what we had to do, who we had to get in touch with, and what the procedure would be to establish the chapter. And during this time, this was like in the fall of 1982, during this time, Eddie and myself participated in as many things as we could on campus. We also had interest group meetings to try and get other people interested in the fraternity. And I think we were pretty successful, because we had about, the black population here on campus at that time wasn't very large, but we were able to get a turnout of about 10 to 15 people who would regularly come to these interest meetings and, you know, participate in different things that we would do together. Now, these 10 to 15 people, I mean, it wound up dropping down slightly when it came to putting paperwork together and finally getting a line started. But that's okay because we're not really interested in quantity, we're interested in quality. Does anyone agree with that?
Oh, yeah.
All right. So, anyway, in the fall of 1982, we got this interest group together. Everyone was pretty on the ball, I'd say. And we also got together a couple of young ladies to help us out. Our first Alpha Angels, Rosalind and Cindy, who are both here. They were pretty instrumental also in helping us to establish ourselves as a presence on campus, and we were pretty successful. In the spring of 1983, this interest group was becoming more structured. We were doing more corresponding with nationals, and what we had to do was go through one of the other chapters here in the state to put these guys online, to pledge them, so that we can have an adequate number to have nationals recognize us here on campus to establish a chapter. So what we wound up doing was, in the fall of 1983, these 7 young men went online under the auspices of Beta Theta chapter. And 7 became 6, but that's quite all right. We still had enough, and like I said, we are interested in quality, not quantity. So anyway, these 6 young men crossed in December of 1983. At this point, we had 8 brothers here on campus. This was enough that we can tell nationals, look, we got some brothers here, let's go. That summer of 1983, that was the summer of 1983 at the National Convention. I take that back. The summer of 1984, I'm sorry, at the National Convention, it was voted that it was possible for a chapter to survive at West Virginia University by the national organization at the National Convention, and they therefore approved of us being here. Subsequent to that, on September 9th, 1984, the 740 chapter number 740 was issued, Pi Mu chapter, here at West Virginia University, and I think that was a big step in the progression of things here at West Virginia University as far as the black student life goes, because when we got here and we started participating, performing community service projects and getting involved in the community, it kind of motivated some of the other organizations to do the same thing. And I think the state of the Black Greeks here on campus now is attributable to the things that we did back then, and I'm pretty proud of that. But at any rate, that's how the fraternity here on campus was founded. And what I want to say now is that there's still a lot of potential for the brothers here on campus. There's so many brothers, and there have been so many great accomplishments, and there have been a few setbacks, but there's no reason that the setbacks can't be overcome. And I have faith that these setbacks will be overcome. It's just a matter of proving by what we've pledged that we can persevere. And as I said, this program, this show right here, shows that there's a spirit of knowledge and achievement that still exists. And all we've got to do is work on it to build it up even stronger and bigger than it is now. And I'm just very happy to have been a part of the initial, the putting together of such a great thing as Pi Mu chapter. What I want to do right now is kind of sum everything up by reciting a poem that I think some of us know well. It's titled House of Alpha by Sidney P. Brown, and it just depicts to me the entire spirit of the fraternity. If anyone wants to join in while I'm saying, feel free. House of Alpha. Goodwill is the monarch of this house. Men, unacquainted, enter, shake hands, exchange greetings, and depart friends. Cordiality exists among all who abide within. I am the eminent expression of friendship. Character and temperament change under my dominant power. Lives once touched by me become tuned and are thereafter amiable, kindly, fraternal. I inspire the musician to play noble sentiments and assist the chemist to convert ungenerous personalities into individuals of great worth. I destroy all ignoble impulses. I constantly invoke principles which make for a common brotherhood, and the echo resounds in all communities, and princely men are thereby recognized. Education, health, music, encouragement, sympathy, laughter, all these are species of interest given on self-invested capital. Tired moments find me a delightful treat. Hours of sorrow, shrine of understanding. At all times I am faithful to the creed of companionship. To a few, I am castle dreams, ambitious, successful, hopeful dreams. To the great majority, to many, I am the poetic palace where human feelings rhyme to celestial motive. To the great majority, I am the treasury of good fellowship. In fact, I am the college of friendship, the university of brotherly love, the school for the better making of men. I am Alpha Phi Alpha, and so are you.
Control our lives, so that we may become through thee servants of all. Amen.